My name is Stacy, and this project was put together by Louisa, Chris, and myself. It's called Let's Write a Book About You, and it discusses 5 different ways a teacher can guide a student to write a book to help make sense of who they are. The goal of this project is to encourage students to write about themselves. We need to teach the students how to research the past, research the future, and do a little research within their families. It will also help students understand how to deal with their actions, and we need to guide the students on writing technically and grammatically. 5 book topics that we will be presenting to the students are: who will I be in the future? The next one is choices I made and the consequences. The third one would be I am the main character. The fourth topic is all about my family. And the last topic will be if I lived 100 years ago. The first topic that we will be discussing that you can introduce to the students is who will I be in the future? It is important for students to set a goal of where he or she would like to be in the future. These types of goals give the students something to work toward in life. It is a way to encourage students to plan for their future and have them write about their future lives and where they'd like to be. By guiding them through this process, it will help them reflect on where they are now and what steps they need to take in order to accomplish this goal. The questions that the students can focus on are: what do they want to be when they grow up? There are different fields that students can look into and get excited about, and we all know that those change over time as the student gets older, but it's definitely something that they can start looking forward towards. The other one is, what school do they want to attend? Have they already started looking into colleges? Is college an important topic in their family life? Another question would be, what will their family be like when they grow up? Do they want to be married? Do they want to have kids? Where would they like to live is the last question. They can live anywhere in the world, and it's interesting to see what the students think their life would be like in the future. So that is the first topic that we would present to the students that they can write a book upon. That we would like to discuss as part of the workshop is choices I made and the consequences. Children start to learn about consequences at a very early age. Teaching kids about choices and consequences and how they should deal with them is an important responsibility a teacher must learn. An idea is to have the students write a book about a choice they may have made and the consequences that resulted. The student must know that the book will be read by the teacher only unless they'd like to share it with the class. This will allow the child to write a book about any choice they may have made, whether it was good or bad. When teaching a student to write about an action or choice they made, they need to realize that there is a difference between a consequence and a punishment. This might be a hard aspect for them to understand, and it might be a good idea to review their choice and consequence story before they get started on the book to make sure they understand the difference between a consequence and a punishment. Throughout the exercise, the student should be encouraged to be creative and suggest that they include other choices the student could have made and how the consequences may have differed. That we will present in the workshop is I am the main character. A child can be reluctant to talk about something going on in his or her life. It could be due to embarrassment, fear of getting in trouble, or any number of other reasons. But if a child, particularly one young enough to be in elementary school, fails to express what's going on internally, he or she will have a difficult time coming to grips with and understanding what's going on and why. This often leads to confusion in a good case scenario and extreme anxiety and other emotional problems in a bad case. Because of this, students should be encouraged to express things going on in their own personal world. Therefore, another book topic idea is to have the student write a fictional book about themselves where they are the main character. A guideline for the main character book would be that the story can be fictional or true to life, but it needs to be representative of that student. Encourage the student to be creative, open, and honest, and assure them that it will be read by the teacher only. And guide the students to use healthy, esteem-building ideas. And lastly, and most important, tell them to have fun. With this topic, it can be a very fun, esteem-building type book that they can write about themselves. They can be the main character, the hero, the maiden. It is up to them as far as who and what they'd like to write about. It is all about my family. Writing about family can be exciting, but it can also be difficult. Each child comes from a different family life, and that's something that we need to take into consideration. Since not all students may feel comfortable sharing their family life, there can be two approaches students can take when compiling their books. The first would be a factual book about their family. Have them write about each family member and their favorite memory that they shared with that family member. And another topic they can write about is write a book about their family as if they were an outsider looking in. Have the students start with a list of words that represent their family as a base to write the story from. The next topic is If I Lived 100 Years Ago. Writing can release an immense amount of creativity in a child once they are set free to write about themselves. With this section of the project, they are asked to write about a book about what their life would be like if they had lived 100 years ago. They would need to research the era 100 years ago, what it was like, what type of jobs were there, what was the family life like, what region did they live in, were they rich, were they poor, were they a soldier or a mother or wife. Making this project fun is an important part of the assignment. In a way, it becomes a history lesson. They have to do some research to complete the book, but what they don't realize is that they're learning while doing so. History improves our decision-making and judgment. History shows us models of good and responsible citizenship. History also teaches us how to learn from the mistakes of others. History helps us understand change in societal development, and history provides us context from which to understand ourselves and others. By having the student take on a role from history, they will be able to write and discover how we all got here. The stages of development that we were focusing on were grades 3 through 5. The cognitive stages of development were making sense of the world. They can get that through writing their books, especially about history, possibly about the future, and their family life, and possibly good or bad decisions that they may have made. Each of these topics will hit on making sense of the world. We also will be assisting them on being able to reason, categorize, and compare. They will also be dealing with developing good and bad self-esteem. The socio-emotional stages of development are teaching them social skills and awareness. We will also be touching on self-efficacy, resilience, and motivation. Dealing with each of these 5 topics should help develop and build these stages, especially grades 3 through 5, when these specific areas are the beginning of who the student will be and who they will become. If you have any questions on the workshop that we have available, our contact information will be attached. This is the workshop timeline. It takes about an hour and a half for us to get through our workshop. We will each be discussing in specific each topic that the students can write on, and then Chris will also be going over the cognitive and socio-emotional development stages in detail for the middle to late childhood stage. So once again, if there are any questions you have on the workshop, definitely give us a call, and we hope to hear from you soon.